Welcome back, people, to another Let's Play in history. Tempers have chilled for a second. We're just gonna skip all this stuff because I am slightly over it with this game that just refuses to end. Oh, I can't skip these? Don't care. Don't care. Okay. There's just too many people to talk to. So that's the only one, and it's hard. Okay, now I really need to think about how I'm going to implement my freaking team now. Snapperdoodles. I need Wolverine. I think I'm gonna...
Disturbing dreams aside, we must focus on the gamma cannon.
Okay. I don't think this is gonna end very well, but we'll see how it goes.
You're not far from a Hydra data drop used by their field operatives.
Probably should just use my character. Damn it.
Intel on their movements. I believe Stark and Carol have done most of the legwork, but you still need to access those consoles to retrieve the data.
Make it quick.
God, this game is frustrating. Okay.
First one that makes an old dog joke gets diced.
Of course. Gonna have to risk the terminal a little bit, because... Oh, they're all spellbound.
It's on the ugly one.
Oh, whatever. I assumed that they were spellbound to another enemy, but I was clearly wrong. Oh, this game hates me. Forgot that guy was the shield guy.
Interesting tactic.
I am making all the wrong moves, people.
Harder than that.
And then let me guess, the big she lady's coming out, isn't she? Naturally. You know what? I've been talking, or I have not been talking, and I need to talk. We're going to talk about Richard Milhous Nixon. One of the more fascinating presidents and historical figures in American history, for better and worse.
Things are moving right along. Defeating the forces of evil and all that.
So I'm going to defeat this one first. Nixon is very complicated. He is one that I certainly go back and forth on, despite the historical legacy that he leaves, unfortunately, as president. I'm probably just going to sacrifice this turn. Let's see how bad this is going to go. If it goes bad, I'll restart it, because I definitely need to... I need to rethink some things. But Nixon's a complicated one. He's one whose legacy is looked at so negatively in so many ways that it's one of those things that it's understandable how he looks at the world and how he looks at things. Yeah, we are definitely restarting this encounter. I think this might be the point where I'm probably just going to straight up give up on this game, because this is just... It's just too much. It's too much. I don't want to deal with it anymore.
How long have you been waiting for that?
Okay. Hmm.
You are nothing compared to the things I have seen and killed.
I'm gonna make you pay for that.
Keep after me.
We haven't quite broken their spirit.
Nixon's a tough one. Cause on a lot of hands, I like him. I think he's one of the few presidents that post presidency he's like actually empathetic and understanding of, like, I did not the best things and that I certainly fucked up in so many different ways that hurt this country, and you know, shows actual remorse, unlike a lot of our former commanding officers and whatnot. Hmm. Why is that card play refunded?
Still getting better after all these years.
It was your time.
That was really something.
Whatever gets the job done.
We'll defeat them.
Let's see if we can do some real damage to her.
I knew you could do it.
Attached to that face.
I'm just winging it. We're gonna see how this goes. Nixon's a California kid. He grew up in somewhere in, I think, middle California. In 1913, his family owned a farm. His family, they were Quakers, moved out west to California way. Methodist by growing up. He grew up and lived his life as a Quaker, effectively, which was like abstinence from everything, dancing, alcohol. Was known never to swear, really. He had 5 siblings. He grew up poor. Let's just put it that way. Not LBJ poor, but pretty darn poor. and his family thought he was gonna die too. One of his younger brothers ends up passing away due to an illness. They thought he had like something wrong with his lungs. Turned out he just had pneumonia, I guess. Very interesting. And if you actually look at Richard Nixon when he was younger, he's a very good-looking young man. Just want to point that out.
It will take more than that. Rick.
My goal now is to try and kill this lady and hope we survive, which is looking increasingly unlikely.
Attract new recruits despite decades of ineptitude. Let's give it a go. This should aid me in my fight. I know what mine was.
Oh, come on. It's not happening. Thought I had enough. Can I load? Okay, let's just skip through all this.
That will do.
Growing up, he was poor. Tried to live a normal life. Worked on the farm. Did all that jazz. Goes to school. Ends up going to Fullerton High at a certain point. Due to health. Becomes a class president, stuff like that, you know. Highly intelligent young man. Always did all the sports, in particular football. A part of the debate club. Part of everything, really. Graduates like with the highest of honors. Given full ride scholarship to Harvard. His family then at that point had owned a store. They ended up instead of going to Harvard, he ended up staying home, making sure his family was taken care of. Let's move you here.
It's remarkable how well Hydra manages to attract new recruits despite decades of ineptitude. Prepare yourself.
How long have you been waiting to do that?
Let's give it a go.
That must have taken practice.
My fate is no different from yours.
Oh, please let this be it. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, let's try this.
Their standards
Done.
are low.
Oh, thank you, sweet baby Jesus.
Not looking good for you.
But despite working at his family store, he works and goes to school. Goes to school at Whittier College, nearby in his hometown. He liked basketball. Real big basketball guy. Okay, how much else? Let's just see if we can even survive this, people. I don't think we will, but we'll try it. Ends up graduating with a degree in history, summa cum laude. Once his family store was up on the ground and okay, he ends up leaving to go to Duke University to study law. I think he ended up graduating top 5 in his class. Ugh.
They all set their sights on me. A moment of preparation. I truly you enough for what's about to happen. Even the mother of demons is forced to rely upon hired hands occasionally.
Okay, Frank, come on. Come on, buddy.
Should do the trick.
I don't know which one I should do. That machine can take it just a little bit more.
You should have that examined at some point.
That's free. No, that's not free. Taking a big risk.
This should aid me in my fight.
Tries to join the FBI. Post college, ends up getting denied because of budget cuts at that point. Joins and successfully passes the California bar and pretty much just starts studying and doing law. He lived a very interesting life. He was a part of a bunch of different plays too. Ends up being a part of a production of The Dark Tower, where he ends up meeting his future wife, Pat, and they had surprisingly a very good marriage for a president. To be quite honest with you, they really loved each other. He was completely devoted to her, and she really wasn't, headstrong into like marrying him, mind you.
Let them destroy that
Da-da-da-da-da.
is meaningless.
Let's go right there.
Ready?
Hmm.
I return with renewed vigor. Watch closely. This won't end well for you.
And he courted her. He really loved that woman. They eventually marry after 2 years of dating, because she just was like, don't know how I feel about marrying you, and ultimately ends up.
Fascism. Hydra will never change.
Let's just do that. This is not going well, people. Ends up marrying her. They have 2 kids together. Do. Can't redraw that. Can I redraw this? At least take one of them out of commission.
Survive another encounter with me.
Ugh. War breaks out. Nixon immediately joins the war effort.
Anyone see a pattern here?
Yeah, they don't like you, Wolverine. And now you're injured. I don't even know if I want to keep playing this game, to be brutally honest with you. Honest with you guys, this is so thoroughly frustrating. Ugh. I can't keep replaying the same part over and over and over again. Screw it. Alright, my goal, I'm just going to take out this annoying son of a bitch. Because this guy, I swear, is just destroying my faith in humanity right now. Of course.
First one that makes an old dog joke gets diced.
Not bad. Not great, but not bad.
Give me something good, people. Like this good.
That must have taken practice.
Now that'll definitely help.
That'll feel right.
What makes me so popular?
Here comes a few more.
Now he could have claimed exemption from the draft, but ultimately ended up joining the Navy. He wanted sea duty. Ultimately, his job was basically just general flight manifestation or manifests and stuff like that, and you know, he ends up doing what he's supposed to do. I will take a turn, just deal with the consequences.
Just what this battle requires.
I'm gonna riff you a new too easy.
Hmm. Okay. I delayed the reinforcements. I don't care about the intel. I just want to get this mission done, people. It's not going particularly well. I don't think he was ever overseas, though. I think he largely just did stateside paperwork, generally speaking. He did not enjoy that particularly well.
Your efforts will never deter me.
But ultimately, actually ends up achieving a rank of commander. Once the war is over, he's relieved of active duty. And then basically, you know, has a lot of good faith and a lot of good name recognition in California. There's 4? What? Ugh, I don't even know what to do, people.
Watch and learn.
See how much health this will take. Now, Democrats had run California for quite a bit, most of the West Coast states generally.
Sometime.
they end up getting an opportunity because they didn't want to continue to lose to the Democrat incumbent in that state, so they end up deciding on potential, war veteran Mr. Richard Nixon. And at this point, he had... Sorry about that. That kind of scared me. But all the connections that he had made, he had gained a lot of prominence in like the DC folks and whatnot, and keep forgetting I have these. Keep forgetting I have these. I just need one to survive. That's not happening. Wolverine's just gonna get manhandled. And not in a very pretty way. That's death. Of course. Guys, I'm in love with you. There's just, like, truly, fuck this game. Like, I can't. I can't do this. I'm not doing this anymore. I just wanna... I'm trying to play it. I can't. I'm just gonna do story mode. Don't care anymore. I'm so thoroughly frustrated right now. I should probably upgrade my card. There's a whole bunch of different things that I could be doing. I just don't care.
That can't be.
I just am at this point, just want this game to end. I don't even care what you have to say, caretaker. I'm done. I need all this gamma research, yada yada yada. Wait. Whatever.
You're not far from the Hydra data drop used by their field officers.
Anyways, there's a whole
Valuable sources
thing with him running and then getting the nomination and then eventually winning, but long story short, he ends up getting the win to become the next representative in the state of California. Votes pretty conservatively for the most part.
but you still need to access those consoles to retrieve the data.
Roger, Dodger.
Oh, crap.
Someone order a cup of any progress in
Sure. Just taunt me, fam. I'm ready.
They're not going to like this.
Very conservatively. It's actually on the committee, or ultimately ended up becoming on the committee for the House of Un-American Activities. Gained a lot of notoriety because of the Alger Hiss case.
I think we lost one.
Ends up winning that effectively because Hiss lied under oath. Because of the positive notoriety, ends up trying to run as a senator. Also because the original person was
Still waiting for them to try.
had retired.
Nice move.
This is so much easier. Now I'm not gonna rage as much. You know, I'll probably finish this game.
Not bad.
What do you call a private who failed at a boot camp? A high-tech officer.
Nope, that's not okay.
Here we go.
I will not be defeated.
Oh lord. Okay. But he wins his Senate race mainly because he's anti-communist. Remember, keep in mind this is around 1950. He's a young man too, so this is like he's in like his mid-30s at this point. Nixon was always also very critical of the Truman administration when all this is happening, in particular with the issues with the Korean War.
Save some for the others.
And pretty much just as a senator, he ends up just saying all the right things, doing all the right things. He's a popular anti-communist, and that's what Republicans were largely running on for the most part, which led to them effectively choosing, because of his anti-communist stance, to pick Richard Nixon as the vice presidential candidate of Dwight D. Eisenhower.
That was something.
Now, there's a whole bunch of different things, like, oh, another smoke-filled room, backroom deals, yada, yada, yada. Also very true. Also very true, because they thought Nixon was their guy. And he was. You know, that's 100% true. But I don't think they even understood how paranoid this man ultimately was or could be. I need to move you. Move you here. Ah, dang I don't even see the dog back there. Whatever. Not to mention, too, California is a growing state and one where he is the candidate and leader from. Yeah, whatever. And in a lot of ways, it was a smart choice for Republicans, too, just for the sheer fact that Eisenhower was pretty much nearing his 60s, and then Nixon wasn't even 40 yet when he became the vice president. So it just seemed like a logical, smart choice. Ultimately, in a lot of ways, it was, because California was a Republican state for a very, very long time. Now, Nixon, as a vice president, was a strong dog, I'll put it that way. Eisenhower and Nixon, I don't think got along particularly well, but I think they got along in the sense of an understanding of partnership, if that makes any sense, you know? Like, it was probably never going to be like a great, you know, we're going to have beers to kick back, but it's like, all right, as long as you do your job, I could care less. It's probably how I would coin it, or specifically look at it. All these freaking terminals, bro. Give it to you, 'cause I think hopefully you'll wake up. Come on, give me something. Alright, wake up. There we go. Thank God. For people who literally do this on like the hardest difficulty, I have zero idea of how you guys even function or do this. I mean, sure, you can just keep replaying levels until you boost up your cards, etc., and keep playing that game, but that's not how I want to play the game. I just want to play. Oh, Lord.
Something isn't right.
Now, Eisenhower had sent Nixon everywhere. He was his ambassador for the most part to go all across various different nations, and was really good in just diplomatic measures, where he also ends up getting a lot of relationship building in various different countries, mind you.
Sure I can't change your mind?
Nice work. It's nice of Lilith to keep restocking the practice dummies for us.
What's the device level at? Yeah, why not? They did not like that. Sure. Repair the device. I don't know how Cap knows how to do all that, but sure. In particular, the one relationship that he has that's pretty good is with the Russian premier Nikita Khrushchev, which is also a big reason why Nikita Khrushchev is very hostile towards Kennedy too, because he sees what's going on with the 1960 election.
Yes, I'm still the focus here. One more time. We're still doing this?
God, I literally can't do anything.
Nice armor. Pity if someone punched a hole.
Let's hope for a better outcome this time.
Clickety clack, 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 clack. And as I explained in the 1960 election, all that stuff with Nixon, yada yada yada, he doesn't win. This leads to Kennedy winning in a very contested, one of the most contested elections in the history of this country. Well, that's all I had to do. Great. Well, finally.
Seems like it.
Don't care, don't care, don't care. Don't care. Of course. This time we're gonna look at the sun, at the night sky, bro.
To say I appreciate you being one.
You have faced many hardships.
And we're going to bed. Okay, we're gonna just start all this stuff, see if we can. Nixon loses the race, tries to run for governor. Long story short, fails.
This is what we were expecting, Hunter. Are there any curses I should be aware of?
He didn't even want to run for governor, but Republicans were like, you were the vice president. You should definitely be, you know, the governor of California. Oh, thank God. Now I can at least start that.
Welcome to Tony's Scary Demon Cave. I'm Tony. How may I assist you today? How's that for quality workmanship?
Spang, spang, spang.
I think I used to design sentient.
And then he has the famous speech, you will never see Richard Nixon again, yada, 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 you know. And I think for the most part, he was very willing to just straight up retire. I really believe that. I mean, don't get me wrong, something was always going to be nicking at the back of his head about, you know. A lot of people always point to him like,
I impress myself.
That's cool. He even pledged not to run in 1964. And what makes his ascension again back in 1968 fascinating is because he's literally just not blamed for anything. He leaves office and is like, I'm done. You can't blame me for shit, you know? Sorry, pardon my language. Trying not to cuss. But this game has me so amped up. Spider-Man.
Ready for more? I think we've got something for everyone.
The chaos magic's power.
Do your thing.
Huh, nothing going on. Okay. Just one more mission then. Where we level up our peeps, people. This is the team right here. That's the team I want. I'll do this one, then I'll probably end this part. He told his family he was going to run for president in like 1967 for the 68 election because of the chaos that was going on. He felt he could do a lot to help. I firmly believe that if his family said, no, please don't do it, he would have said no.
Get to the trucks and grab those artifacts before they roll out.
I hear you.
Sure, why not?
Whatever gets the job done.
But long story short, he runs, successfully, I might add. The just destructive nature of what's going on in the country is just, it's a lot for people to handle, to understand, and this leads to a lot of crap. And what the hell?
That's right.
Sure, why not? Spider-Man. Cap. But I think a big reason for it was his wife. His wife didn't enjoy the normal life. She wanted her husband to be as successful as possible. I don't think for power's sake. I think she just wanted the best for her husband, and she knew it was just going to be gnawing at him for the rest of his life, that he was never president, that he never successfully ran. And you want to talk about a contested ticket in 1968. I mean, there was a bunch of people. Nelson Rockefeller, Ronald Reagan, just on the Republican ticket alone. George Romney. That name ring any bells? Yes, that is Mitt Romney's father, who was a governor of Michigan, by the way. So, bang.
What do you call a private who bailed out a
4. Perfect. This is going by so much faster, people. So if I just recover the supplies, then I'm done with this mission, right? Now I gotta defeat the remaining enemies. Okay.
The artifacts are secure, but why don't you teach Hydra a lesson while you're there?
Okay. $400. But you want to talk about a destructive democratic process? The Democrats themselves were just completely dismantling. Not to mention George Wallace in the South is gaining a bunch of votes. Actually, it steals a lot of votes away from Hubert Humphrey, who's the Democratic nominee. Who wasn't even really. He was just he wasn't even the consensus person. He was just like, he's better than nothing. Is how I would probably coin it. And you have to understand, Nixon was someone who a lot of people believe could really unite the nation, bring people together, you know, bring some harmony in a very destructive and chaotic time. They think of Roosevelt or not Roosevelt, they think of Eisenhower when they think of Nixon, you know. It is what it is. Nixon ends up winning the majority of electoral votes, 300 to Hubert Humphrey, who wins like barely 200. McGovern takes like most of the southern states, and you know, he felt truly vindicated. Nixon, he felt real good. He's like, I needed this more than anything, guys. Wins the presidency, becomes the next president of the United States of America in 1968. And yeah, we'll continue to his presidency and post-presidency and his death later on, because his post-presidency is very fascinating. There's a speech that he does well after his terms as president that I think you should look at, where he's detailing a whole bunch of different things, and it's fascinating. God bless, like and subscribe. Y'all rock. Just, you know, you guys push me through this. I will finish this game. Later.